what I guess is really the kick-off of the third mandate of the Land and Water Forum. In a formal sense, we're probably going to do that tomorrow. But actually, I think this does represent the beginning today. I've got at least one apology, and since Kirsten Bryant, who found she had an absolute conflict with the board meeting, asked me to mention her, I'm going to. Kirsten said she's sorry she can't be here. But I just want to thank you all for coming. This is the most amazing turnout. I was a little worried when I thought nobody might come, and then when I found out how many people actually were coming, we almost crapped ourselves. But welcome nonetheless. 6 years ago, we had 2 days with scientists, really pretty much at the beginning of the Land and Water Forum, at the beginning of its existence. And when we began, it was by no means clear that everybody agreed there really was a problem. And I think that those 2 days of science persuaded us all both that yes, there was a problem, and yes, there were ways of dealing with it. And in that sense, it gave us a start to our work, without which we would have been lost. And the subject matter of these 2 science days shows in a way how far we've come. Because if last time it was the science of problems, this time what we're really looking at is the science of solutions. What are the things that we have to do to be able to manage water better? And we're looking at it both as a general topic, and we're also looking at it in relation to some particular examples in some particular regions. And we're also engaging with Mātauranga Māori as well as with Western science. There are some things we're not doing. We wondered if we should have more economics in today, and we came to the conclusion that if we tried to do so, we wouldn't do it justice. We needed to deal with that as a separate topic. We know we're not going to be able to deal with everything. We know that probably the things that are said today will provoke issues as well as resolve them. And so while we're going to try and focus this down on the science, we know other issues may come up which we will need to take a note of as things that we want to discuss. And we're also going to be prepared to take notes of issues which the scientists feel need further work and need further resolution for this meeting. So don't regard this as the end of anything. Regard it as a beginning. So Clive is going to give the real introduction to this. All I want to say now then is to thank him for the terrific personal role that he's played in helping to bring so many people, whom I also want to thank, around the table with us today. Thank you very much, Clive.
I just wanted to thank, to start with, a small group, which is the 2 front tables here, plus Andrew Sholem, who sat around with a very tight time frame literally a couple of weeks ago and decided to hold this thing on this day, and that's why it was almost last minute. But I especially wanted to thank the scientists who you're going to be hearing from and the regional council presenters who were faced with a very, very tight time frame for doing this, and it's quite remarkable that we got everyone together. And I think the reason is that the Land and Water Forum is held in pretty high esteem, and I know that some people had to change some quite significant schedules in order to present today. So I think it's a tribute to the forum itself. And I just wanted to say one thing about the forum. The first 3 reports of the forum contain quite a bit of science buried all the way through it. And that was then transferred and from the recommendations into the national policy statement as we know it now. And I think it's fair to say that that has completely altered the way that freshwater and a significant number of land-based scientists have actually focused their work. It's been almost a step change in the way that science directions have been going as a result of firstly the forum and secondly the NPS. And some of the fruits of the last few years and the way we've shifted our science thinking, you're going to hear about in the next day and tomorrow with the regional council presentations as well as some science. So that's all really from me because we've got a very tight time schedule.